I don't function too well without coffee this early in the morning. So we're going to do a quick McDonald's you know, coffee run before we head to the shop to do a bit of work on the little Hilux. We've got the carburetor to put on, got some rocket cover gaskets to put on. What else have we got there to do? We've got to do a spark plug change on it too. Just you know, just because with that other carby it was running extremely fat, so we want it to you know, have a fresh set of plugs that aren't, you know, got a shit ton of fuel all over them and isn't carboned all up. So what we'll do, we'll place our order here at Macca's and we'll get everything sorted, get a start on it, and go from there. All right, boys, so we're back. We got that coffee. Oh shit, yeah, that's it. All right, so what we'll do, we'll head to the shop now. We'll got a little surprise there for you, actually. Something that we done yesterday, which was an absolute shit fight to do. Something that I've been meaning to get back to the shop for a while. It's been sitting in fucking paddock basically for the last, should it have to be 6 months at least, maybe even eight months. It's just been one of those things that I fucking haven't been able to get to. I've just been too busy with my other business, been too busy with shops, but I'm gonna try and be committed to doing a shit ton more YouTube content. I'm gonna try and put a YouTube video out a week. I don't know what else more we can really do with the little Hilux besides what we're about to do today. Got some interior stuff that I want to do on the Hilux, but it's fucking hard to try and find stuff like that actually, because you've got the RN85 Hiluxes, which is what mine is, the 1988, so I think 1995, and then you got the LN85, which the LN85, don't quote me on this, but I'm 99% sure they're the four-wheel drive version, where mine's only the two-wheel drive. The doors and panels and everything like that are the same, but the you know, obviously trying to find that center console little section where the shifter is, they've got the little cutout for the four-wheel drive. Obviously I don't need that. I don't want it to be there because it'll look like shit. So I've reached out to a few people now. A couple of guys say they've got them, but then they don't get back to you, so that's fucking great. I do want to pull the exhaust back off it actually at one point, and either A, do a new exhaust system for it, or just clean up the welds on the one that I've done. I welded it all up without fucking gas MIG. I don't know if it was a gasless MIG and it looks like shit, but it done the job. So we're just rolling up to the complex now. Make sure I've got a fucking key to get in actually. So what we'll do, we'll go in here and I'll get up to the door and show you the little surprise we got there. Just on a quick little side note, if any of you guys are somewhat local to the Dubbo, New South Wales region, or even on this side of Sydney, Greg, he used to work for me, he's actually opened up his own business doing custom car wraps, decals, signage. Also does a little bit of LS work. So with his VE GTS that he's got, that you guys have seen on the channel, the red one, he's actually put a really cool fucking what was it, a Holly, it's like a sniper intake manifold. It's got pretty cool runners on it actually. The tuner here in Dubbo, Jesse McKay, he's actually never seen anyone actually put these manifolds on anything in Australia. So Greg's is the first. He's actually got, it's a twin intake manifold. It's weird looking, but it's also cool. So if you guys wanted to follow Greg's page, CTM Customs, he's on Instagram. Don't know whether he's got a Facebook page. He could have Facebook, I'm not too sure. But he will be wrapping my my little work Colorado here, hopefully in the next probably couple of weeks. I've just got to get a few dents out of the roof, so I didn't know that were in it when we brought it. But it'll be a pretty cool little wrap job, which we might actually, you know, do a little bit of content on for you guys here. It's gonna go like a cool, shit, what color did I pick for that actually? That was a while ago when I picked this color. I think it's like a carbon, no, not carbon, it was a matte metallic grey or something, or a charcoal matte metallic or something cool, I don't know. But we do have a little special little car here. I'll show you guys now. So we've got the infamous Flubby back. I'll insert a little clip here from when we got it yesterday. My GoPro was actually playing up yesterday, so I took footage, but I lost 3/4 of it, so I'll insert what I've got here. Righto. So turbo's down there. It was sitting in the boot of the car. Motor will hopefully be coming out of it pretty soon. Went to the car wash with it and gave it a bit of a wash off. It was covered in shit. When we moved the shop, we literally just chucked everything in it. It's like everything's just sitting in there. All the pistons that we're going to be using, that we've put the ARP rod bolts in, they're all good to go. A lot of the, I think all the turbo stuff, like turbo manifold log and all that sort of stuff, it's all in the boot. Everything's just sort of shoved in the boot. It's just, it looks disgusting. But we'll, yeah, it's disgraceful. The heads down there that we'll be using on it, it's probably a bit hard to see, but they're down there. I think they're the 243 heads, I think, by memory. I can't remember. We've actually done a little bit of porting on those, so opened those up quite a lot for the turbo. Greg's done a bit of a wrap job on the roof. That was one of his play wraps that, you know, just to, you know, sort of have a play around. He's never wrapped a roof until then. Turn up the light on here, won't be a sec. Wrong button. Alright, little Hilux. So, what we're going to be doing is changing the carby, like I said. One that we've got on it at the moment is a 750 QFT quick fuel. We've mucked around with it, rejetted it and fucked around. It's just been a pain in the ass. So my old man is actually brought me another carby because he wants the carby off it for another build of his mates. So we've got a 650 QFT that's going to be going on it. So I'll get everything out sitting on the bench and we'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so this is what we got. Excuse the mess. I haven't really cleaned up too much up here. I've still got a bit of shit to move up here into the other shop. Would have had a lot more content put out by now, but I've been struggling to actually get a car hoist together for my other shop. So this is the carby. It's the 650 QFT double pumper. Mechanical secondaries. Got some spark plugs here. Got some rocker cover gaskets because this thing is leaking like an absolute fucking sieve. Everywhere you drive it, it's leaking. Everywhere you park it, it's fucking leaking. My driveway at home is absolutely destroyed from it. So the wife's not too happy about that. Just open this bonnet up. Okay, so we'll get into it. Rip this carby cleaner off, get everything started on it. I might chuck another light up just so you guys can see a little bit better and go from there with it. Okay, So as you can see, it's pretty fucking carboned up there. It backfires quite a lot still through that carby. We have had it running a shit ton better just by putting that ice ignition box in it. It does help a ton with it. We did actually end up figuring out, guys, what was actually going on with the fuel squirting issue that we're having. I think it was 2 or 3 videos ago. What it is the guy that actually built this carby for me has actually put the wrong screws in these fuel squirters here. So the screw that he put in here was actually a solid bolt. So this one here actually went to another local tuner here, an old guy that does a lot of carbied stuff, and he took a look at it and was like, what the fuck has actually happened to you? Someone's put a solid screw in it. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, it's supposed to have a hole up the center of the bolt with some holes right at the end to let the fuel push up and spray out through those squirters. So the only way that I could get the thing to run properly was by loosening off that screw, so there wasn't so much pressure on the little, it's like a little needle inside that pushes up with the fuel to let the fuel push past. So what was happening, that bolt was bottomed out on it, it wouldn't let the fuel actually get up through it. So me loosening off that screw wasn't pushing down on it so far, which would allow it to come up through the threads and squirt out through the squirter. So I showed him that. He was absolutely fucking mortified because he's like, if that bolt falls out, it goes straight through your intake, straight into your valves, and it's game over, Red Rover. So he ended up finding me one of those screws to chuck in. He put it in the primary and blocked off the secondaries. It ran like a pig. So I was like, fuck this. Put it in the secondaries and put the normal screw back in, or put the other screw, the wrong one, back in the primary, and fucking loosen that off just to get me home because it ran like shit and wouldn't rev, and I didn't want to do that. So yeah, we'll get this one ripped apart. I'll set you guys up. I'll just do little snippets through it so we're not taking too long and not rambling like I am. And try and get ripped through it so you guys can see what I've got to do to this little 308 to get the fucking thing to run somewhat decent, hopefully. Alright, I'm pretty sure these are 13mm. Yep. For the carby plate. So I undo those 4 screws, or 4 nuts I should say, not screws. Take those off. And then what I would recommend, because what I'll do is I'll take the fuel lines off, which are just these two lines here. They're obviously going to have fuel in them already, so they're going to squirt out everywhere. So I do recommend putting a rag down to try and catch and soak up some of that fuel, because obviously it sits there. We don't want it to backfire with this other carby if it decides it wants to do that, which, knowing this fucking car, it will. It just loves to backfire. Undo that throttle linkage, which I think was a 10mm bolt, which is dodgy as shit, which that was another thing the old dude had a sook to me about. So I'll get that undone because it's a bit hard to do with one hand. Okay, so I've got that bracket off. I've got the dodgy cable that's been put on there off. Just gonna undo these fuel lines, like I said. You're supposed to use a proper fitting for these A8 AN lines, like a proper special shifter or spanner that you can buy through like Rocket or Aeroflow, or a lot of places like that, or Earl's Fittings. These are just cheap, shitty eBay fuel lines and AN lines. So I'm not too concerned if do scratch those up. I've already put the rags down just to try and help catch some of that fuel. So just undo those. There's a little bit coming out of there. Just try and put that up out of the road a little bit. Stop it from leaking everywhere. Of course that one's going to be a pain in the ass. Why wouldn't it be? The whole thing is going to come undone. Of course it is. Actually, I do need those adapter fittings there anyway, so what I might do, I might set you guys up here and I might just unscrew the whole thing so I can put those in the new carby. Alright, so we'll just lift this straight up off the plate. Try and leave the gaskets intact, hopefully. Obviously you want to be super careful that you don't, there we go, it's cool. Super careful that we don't drop anything down the intake runner, because if that gets missed and you leave it in there, it could be absolutely fucking catastrophic. What else have we got? That's right, we've got another line on the back here runs into the rock cover for the I think we've got some fuel running here. Yeah. Let's undo this here. It is in a prick of a spot. So get that undone. Get it ripped off. In a bad spot. There we go. Right, so I got that off. I'll just unravel that. It's not the correct way to do it. Maybe we won't do that because it's going to put fuel everywhere. I'll get another shifter for that. Alright, so shifter, gotta do that other shifter. Is it just me or is it everyone? Does everyone lose tools halfway through doing a job? I seem to do it all the time with this car. Pisses me off. See if I can just hold it and uncrack it with my hand. I just had another shifter and now I don't know where it is. There. No, it's not going to work. I'll be back. I'll find that other shifter. So you guys probably knew where it was the whole time, sitting up on top of the brake booster there. I couldn't see it, but sit it down there out of the road. So get that undone. It's got fuel coming out of it already. Rip that straight off. Get that straight out of the road. Alright, so I've got a little oil thing there. Just let some of the fuel run into that. There it is. Because obviously I haven't emptied it out of the bowls yet, so it's had quite a lot of fuel sitting in it still. Which I've got to clean it all out before the other guy gets it anyway. Okay, that'll do it. So move that out of the road. Move everything out. So side by side comparison of these two carbies, they probably do look, well, they do look fucking near identical, but obviously this one has, I don't know whether you guys can see it there, it's got 750 written on it. Yeah, you can sort of see it down there. This one's got 650 written on it. It's probably a bit hard to see because it's not a very good shot, but this one should be a lot better for the fact that it squirts in a lot less fuel. This one we've mucked around, rejetted, fucked around with timing, and no matter what we do, it still won't run properly. So we'll get this one chucked on now. I'll swap these fittings over first before I chuck it on, just to save a little bit of time. And yeah, we'll chuck it on. Alright, so we're back. We just put that PVC, or PCV, I don't know, whatever it's called. Put that line back on, runs the rocker cover there. Chuck the carby back on. Everything's in the right way. Change those little anodized fittings. It had this style of fitting in it, which is obviously a screw-on, which won't actually work with the AN lines that I actually have for this. But what we'll do, chuck these fittings back on here for the fuel, which is probably going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. I know I'm supposed to use thread tape for these, but I don't have any here, so off camera I'll probably just chuck some on that. Probably not. If it doesn't leak, it probably won't. You know what it's like. If it's not fucked, don't fix it. Get this other one here. Gotta clean up all this wiring. It's an absolute fucking shit fight, all this wiring, so that might be in another later video. We'll see how we go. This one's gonna be a pain in the ass, isn't it? Alright, what I'll do, I'll just chuck that on and I'll come back. So we have those on there now. Just done them up so they're not loose. Hopefully they don't leak. But you know, everyone knows what it's like. You fuck around with this shit. It doesn't take much for stuff to leak. Put all these little washers and bolts back on. Probably a bit hard for you guys to see, but do those up. Have to put this bracket back on, which do need to get new, longer bolts for this anyway, for the carby that screws to the manifold. The bolts aren't actually quite long enough, which is fucking dodgy. So I've just backed them out as far as I could go without them falling out for now. When we say for now, it's like probably going to stay like that forever, but until I can find some that, you know, and I get around to actually doing it. So you don't want to go super tight with these. So obviously it's steel into aluminium. Aluminium strips easily. If you guys haven't done it before, tighten up real tight. See how you go, because I know you'll fuck it up. Trust me, because I've done it before. So that's on there now. Just make sure they're all nipped up a little bit tighter. You know, you just want to do them like spark plugs. You don't want to go super tight. Alright, so that's on there now. Got to put that dodgy cable back on. Looks like he's got decent screws in it now, so that should be good. Before we try and start it, I want to chuck a new set of plugs in it. Just because you guys wouldn't believe it, but these fucking spark plugs, in this motor, I would have had to have put at least 12 sets of spark plugs in. Like, I shit you not, between this carby, the demon carby that I had on it, I've dead set, I put that many spark plugs in this fucking car because I never had it registered, which it's registered now. I have driven it around on the streets a bit now, but driving it in and out of the shop used to foul the plugs up so fucking quick. You know, you'd start it 2 or 3 times and then that's it. Okay, it wouldn't start, or it would start and it'd misfire and run like shit, and then it would finally clean out because obviously it wasn't getting hot enough to burn the electrode on the spark plug to get rid of all the carbon off it. So And it didn't help that we couldn't, you know, lean it out anymore, because you leaned it out enough and then it wouldn't start the next day. So fingers crossed this fixes it. Everyone that I've spoken to is reassuring me that this is going to fix it. When you've had this much drama with an engine or a car, you sort of just don't believe what people have to say. You just fucking, you know, go with it. So we'll get these plugs ripped out, chuck them in. There's only, I think, 1 or 2 that are really, really finicky to get to, which isn't too bad, I guess. It's just one of those things. You know, every car has some that are really easy to get to, and then there's a lot that are a pain in the fucking ass, like V6 Magnas. V6 Magnas, if you guys have ever got to change some, fucking don't. Just take the car to a wrecker's, get rid of the fucking thing. It is dead set an absolute pain in the ass to do that, because you can get to the first 3 at the front, fine, but the ones at the back, holy shit, that's just... Why Mitsubishi came up with that idea, fuck if I know, because you've literally got to take the whole inlet manifold off just to get to it, for a car that's worth, I don't know, $250, because let's face it, if you drive a Magna, I feel sorry for you. They're a fucking shitbox. But we'll get these plugs out, move the light over for you guys. Light turned off. Which, this side's the really good side to get to. You know, you can actually get to everything on this. This side, quite easily, most of the time. What's the bet that they're like black and carbon and look like crap? Look at that. That is absolutely disgusting. So it's still even wet from fuel pissing into it. Can't even see the top of it. Do you reckon this is going to fix it with this carby? Guess we'll find out. I'll get all these plugs changed out, because I don't want to bore you guys with changing spark plugs on a Holden 308, because a lot of you guys that watch these videos of mine anyway, you know, you're car orientated, you just know how to change spark plugs, I'm sure. So I'll get these knocked out for you guys. And then yeah, I don't know whether I'm going to start it first or change those rocker cover gaskets, because I don't know whether I've got my tube of silicon here. I think I've got it in Greg's shop at the moment, so I don't know whether he's coming here today. If not, I might have to duck out and get some from Super Cheap or Burson's or fucking somewhere like that, or Autobarn, probably Autobarn. Just because I like to put a little bit on the bottom of these rocker covers, because they don't seal the greatest. These are probably the second lot that I've put on it, because if you guys follow me on Instagram, which you guys should, we've actually done some, what did we do? We've done some valve springs on this. So on this side, that's right, we actually coil binded the crap out of a spring, which I'm pretty sure I did touch on it on my last video. If you guys haven't watched it, go back and watch it. But it absolutely shit itself. I chased and chased and chased a misfire for ages, and it turns out that it ate a fucking valve spring, and that was fun. I can guarantee you that. That was fun. I had to remove a shitload of stuff just to get to those springs, because obviously it's a tight engine bay with a motor that shouldn't have the motor in it. But we'll, I'll get these plugs knocked out and go from there. All right, boys, so we're back. Got those plugs all changed out. Got all the wires back on. I haven't hooked up the carby linkage. I'm not too concerned about it at the present moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit the key, let it prime. Hopefully we don't have any fuel leaks, which we do, which that's awesome. I'll muck around with that. I had a feeling that it might have leaked. That one used to leak every now and again. You'd think I would have changed the changed that and put some thread tape on it by now, but you know, you can't rush these things. Try that again. So nipped it up a little bit more. Still leaking. What I'll do, I'll play around with that and see what I can find and get it to fix. Alright, so still leaking a little bit. I'm not too concerned about it right this second. I'm not going to drive it. I just want to see whether, if I kick it in the guts, see whether it's going to start. It's actually looks like it could work. Kick it in the guts to see what it does. Take it out of gear first to be smart. Who else has done that in their life? I've done that twice with this car now. First time I actually ran it into that bench over there and put a mark on the front bar, which I was pissed about, but you know, it's one of those things. Alright, so let's try it again. Doesn't want to start. Definitely pumping fuel in it now. What we'll do, hit it a few more times off camera, see whether I can get it to start, and I'll come back to you guys. Alright guys, so I've just mucked around with it then for a second. I forgot that with the ICE ignition you can do a it's sort of, you can change the timing on it with that box. I forgot that I mucked around with the other carby the other day to try and get it to not play up so much, which obviously, if I'm putting another carby on it now, obviously didn't work. So still got to muck around with the timing on it. Obviously I've pumped the throttle 2 or 3 times. I just put the return spring on it actually, which I just found out that it was actually trying to squirt with fuel pump without the throttle open. It was leaking a little bit in there, so with that return spring it's just put a little bit of pressure on that butterfly to stop it from doing it. So I'll hit the key now. So she starts up quite easily now. Doesn't seem to be as fuely at the present second, but it didn't play up so much when it was cold. More played up once it warmed up a little bit. But like it, you see what it revs like. Sounds pretty crisp for me actually, which always had that little flat spot with that other carby. So this is straight out of the box from what the guy sent me. I actually haven't mucked around with the carby. I literally just chucked it on, as you guys seen. At the moment, like I said, it's not pumping out a heap of black smoke like it used to. It used to pump it out like profusely. But also, I'll let that warm up a little bit. I might take you for a drive. I've got to go do a job in about half an hour anyway, which I'm going to need the hoist for, so I've got to move that out anyway. But on our Instagram page,
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, it wasn't asking you Google. We've actually done a sticker little launch. This is one of our holographic ones that we've done. I'm just stuck it on the side of my ute just for the fun of it. It's a colour shift one. Looks pretty fiery if you ask me. There's a few guys that have already asked me about it that I've put on Instagram. Greg's got a couple that he's putting on his Colorado 7. He's got a Colorado 7 black station wagon. Kyle Grimmer, if you don't follow him on Instagram, go follow him. It's I'll link that in here now. He's got a pretty cool VZ Turismo Blue, what do they call it? Turismo Blue VZ Club Sport lookalike. It's got a pretty cool wicked motor in it, which we'll probably try and get a few videos of that. Hoping, fingers crossed, Power Play in Sydney's coming up in the next couple of months. So I've already spoken with little Kyle, which is a mate of mine, seeing whether we can get his car to Power Play, so we can take some fucking mad footage for you guys. Greg's car, we're not going to be able to take that to Power Cruise this year or Power Play. At this stage, well, he's got to do that intake like I've already spoken about. He's got to get it tuned, and he wants to do he's got a drag wing to put on the back of it, and he wants to do a full custom wrap job on it. So he wants to change the color from red to something else, which will be pretty sick. So what we'll do, I'll just move this forklift out here, have a little bit of a clean up, put that throttle cable on that carby, we'll run it out, and we might take it for a quick squirt around the block before I go get this other car to do a service on. Then I'll go get some grey RTV before we do those rocker cover gaskets, because they are pissing me off. I don't know when Greg's actually coming here, so I'll just go get my own, or get some more. I already have that stuff, but he's borrowed my other toolbox, so he's got that. But we'll get this thing moved out, and we'll go for a little cruise. All right, so we're back. Fires up a hell of a lot easier now. Let's get it out of here without hitting anything. That'd be nice. It's definitely nowhere near as fat, so it's still quite bad on the AFR gauge, but that might need to be cleaned out as well, that AFR gauge, because like I said, it was pretty fat there for a fair while. So sorry if the camera jumps around a bit. I don't have a GoPro set up in here properly, so I'm just holding onto it at the moment. Yeah, she's still pumping out a bit of white smoke now actually, so hopefully it might clean it out a bit. Someone's put a fucking speed hump here, which wasn't here. Last week someone put it in. I don't come up here that often at the moment, only because I'm not using that workshop anymore. But it's a fucking pain in the ass for my Harley, for this ute, and for Greg's GTS, because obviously everything's so low, we can't fit anything in. So chuck my seatbelt on. We don't want to get in too much trouble. So safety first. And yes, I fixed that fuel leak. I just nipped it up a little bit more and it seems to fix it. So we'll just go up the road here for a quick squirt. Let it warm up, because it actually hasn't warmed up yet, and then we'll come back and see how it all gone. Alright guys, so we're back. Seems to be alright. I suppose we'll do a little test to see, make sure that it's going to run properly. Those rocker boring, it's a tedious job because everything's so fucking tight. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this carby. So it hasn't been tuned, so I'll take that to Timmy the tuner, get him to tune it up for me, because I don't want to do it. I could do it, but I don't want to do it. Now I can't get out because I've locked the door. There we go. So all in all, that was a quick, easy little job. It was only took a couple of hours, probably like 20 minutes for you guys. Do apologise, this video has gone a little bit fucking all over the shop. It's rambled a bit. But we do really like the support that you guys give us on Instagram and YouTube. We will be doing a lot more videos soon. With Flubby, Hilux, yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. I do have another car that I want to be bringing in here soon, once I can clean a lot of this shit out of here, because a lot of it needs to go to the other shop. Also this Colorado, doing the wrap job on it. I might even do a little quick PDR video, not that I'm any good at it. Greg's got a little kit there that I can try and use. But yeah, that pretty much sums up this video, guys. So please like and share the video. Also comment. I do love the feedback that you guys give us. And I'll try and get a few videos of Greg doing a few wrap jobs. He'd actually done a really cool race boat the other day, and a VE Ute, SS Ute. He re-wrapped it purple. So if you jump on CTM_customs Instagram, you'll see what Greg's done. Yeah, that's killer stuff what he does, guys. So go hit up his page. So yeah, catch you on the next one.